Hey everybody, this week we're gonna go through Jorn Lande's box set from Frontiers Records. There's a bunch of albums in there, so let's get to it. Hey everybody, it's a Snowman with TooLoudTooOldMusic.com. Welcome back to the collection. Last week we went through Harem Scarum's box set from Frontier Records, so I figured I'd go through another Frontier Records box set, and this time it's with Jorn Lande, the Norwegian vocalist. Been around. This is celebrating 50 years on Earth, so it's not a 50-year career, but just 50 years old at this point, because it was 2018 when this was released, the anniversary box set, and we get 12 CDs, very thick, nice quality. Everything is really top notch on this thing. Um, Frontiers did a good job. Back in 2018-19, they had a few box sets come out. Harem Scarum, Jorn, Kip Winger solo stuff, that box set. Just a bunch of really good things. I wish they'd do more of this type of stuff because, I mean, this thing, um, 9 albums, 3 bonus CDs. It was $60, so 12 CDs. Basically came out to $5 a CDs. I'll take that kind of deal any day of the week. If you don't know Jorn and his vocals, he's been in bands like Master Plan, and then he did this really cool thing with Russell Allen, Allen Land thing. The first one was called The Battle. I think there were 4 CDs that have been released on that series, which were awesome. Loved it. But vocally, he sounds like David Coverdale, if you had to give him a comparison of some kind. And it's not that he's trying to imitate him. I think that's just how he really sounds. And it's probably why I like him because I'm a massive Whitesnake fan. And so I think I grew into liking Jorn the first time I heard him. I think it was 2006 when I discovered him through melodicrock.com with Andrew McNeese's site. He's turned me on to a lot of musicians and stuff that we just didn't get here in the States. So by following that track, that website, I got into Jorn. I got into Jeff Scott Soto, Harem Scarum, Eclipse. I mean, just so many great bands discovered through that site. So yeah, it came with this wonderful booklet with Jorn. It's got some pictures in here. It's got an essay from Jorn himself. A lot of great photos. Um, just a nice little booklet to get uh, and get you up to speed on who he is. Uh, Definitely worth checking out for sure. Um, no complaints. I'm missing a couple albums. I need to get a few more, I think. And then I'll have his complete set, but I'm still missing several. So, all right, we're going to start through going through the CDs. First one up is from 2001. It's starting with Changer, which was a surprise for me because Starfire was his actual first solo album that came out. But I think he thinks that one is more of just kind of a demo kind of thing. So it's not included in here, which is a shame. It would have been nice. But in the booklet or in the CD, we get a little sleeve. And again, they did the whole vinyl look of it like they did with the Harem Scarum. But what's different from the Harem Scarum one is we actually get a booklet from like the CD that was actually there. So it's got all the lyrics, some more pictures in here. Um, Really, really awesome stuff. I was so glad to actually get the full booklet in here. I think that was something that was missing out of the Harem Scarum box set that was a plus here on this one. So for this one, really love this album. One of my all-time favorite Jorn songs is Sunset Station, and that is on here. It is just such an incredible melodic rock track. I've talked about it on the site before. Did a write-up on it. Uh, just incredible, incredible song, and the whole album is great as well. So I can't complain about anything. Just a wonderful debut album, I guess, since the first one is supposedly demos. And if you noticed, there's this crow. We're going to see this crow quite a bit, but not all the time. And come to think of it, the next album, Out to Every Nation, is, if I'm not mistaken, the only album. Oh no, maybe he's. I don't. The crow. If the crow's anywhere, the crow could be right here, but it's really hard to see from that one. But this is his second. His next album came out in 2004. It doesn't really. If it features the crow, it's not very well featured. Again, little sleeve, and there we get the CD and another CD booklet. It's just so awesome that we get the full booklet in here. Just love that fact. Um, that was a big, massive plus on this album for me. A lot of great songs on here. Something Real, the title track, and Young Forever are three of my favorites on this one. Yeah, I don't know, the first handful of albums were just unbelievable in my book, and some of his best. And this is where my starting point was probably with him, was the Duke. And because this came out in 2006, and we've got the Crow back in full force on this one. CD, it's right there. And again, the great booklet, stunning pictures. There's the guys, the band, and their surrounding people. Just some really good stuff. Favorite songs on here, Starfire for sure, is excellent. We Brought the Angels Down, Black Song, and Storm Crow are some of the best tracks on here. Yeah, just another stellar, stellar album. And then he kept it all rolling in 2008 with Lonely Are the Brave. The crow is on his shoulder, and then Crow is back there. Um, it's just, this one's just another hard and heavy album. Um, Songs like Shadow People, Lonely Are the Brave, uh, are some great tracks on there. This is Jorn here in the middle. That's Jorn. Um, I would also like to add what Soul of the Wind, The Inner Road, and War of the World are other standout tracks. This album was pretty much great from start to finish in my book. Really, really love this one. Um, and I mean, no complaints on any of these so far. Spirit Black is the next one from 2009. The crow is all front and center there. Um, we get the CD. There we go. Uh, and Jorm, he was pumping out albums around this time almost every year, which was great. I guess Master Plan maybe wasn't going. I don't really know at this point in time. Um, but yeah, love the car. Love the Corvettes. Yeah, so this was, I mean, he was rather prolific around this time, just a whole lot of stuff. This one is nice. It gave us a bonus track on this particular one. It's a cover of Thin Lizzy's The Sun Goes Down. They do a great cover of that. Another one of my all-time favorite Jorn songs is I Walk Alone, and that is on here as well. Just again, I haven't listened to these in so long. I'm really gonna have to go back and pull these things out because now I'm all excited again. Just talking about them, I want to hear them again. Um, all right, last one. Like I said, we got a covers song on that one. This next one, it was originally called Song for Ronnie James, but now it's pretty much called Dio. Um, Even though they're saying Song for Ronnie James, but it was called Dio as well. I've seen it both ways. And this was in 2010, and it was a tribute to Ronnie James Dio, of course. It all starts off with "Song for Ronnie James" as the main kickoff song. It's a very personal album for Jorn, as Ronnie was someone he looked up to quite a bit, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, big influence on his music. When you hear it, you'll understand. And I like this because it's not your typical songs I would expect necessarily from Ronnie. He covers I mean, there are 13 tracks on here. Lord of the Last Day, Don't Talk to Strangers, Push, Invisible, just incredible covers album and one original track, at least one original track. You get the booklet, and so always nice to have that. Some of the other players on the album, um, and here's some more of the players. So yeah, it's just really great stuff. Um, and up to this point, he's been hitting them out of the park, no problem. 2012, we now have "Bring Heavy Rock to the Land." And this is about the time for me where he'd put out so much stuff. This was kind of started sounding the same for me. And here's the booklet. Um, he'd started kind of sounding the same. Nothing really extra coming out of this. Um, there we go. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. It just started losing some of the punch. There were still some good songs on them. Um, I need to re-explore them because it has been a long while since I have. But I just remember like this album and the next couple didn't punch me as much. I didn't get into them as much as I did those earlier albums. And I don't know, maybe it was just there was so much music he was putting out between everything that maybe that was it. And then 2013, we got Traveler, and it's the Crow is the pilot of the Traveler. Um, we get the CD, same album cover on it, and then the booklet, which again, so happy they did the booklet. Um, there the guys are, more pictures of them, and of course some lyrics and stuff as well. Um, and I, like "Bring Heavy to the Rock to the Land." I kind of thought this one was a little iffy as well. Uh, I would say the better stuff for him was the knots, the 2000 to 2010. That decade was just phenomenal. All of those albums. There's some stuff worth hearing on here for sure, but the whole album didn't really catch me as much. And I hate to admit that, but that's just the way it is. Then 2017, we get "Life on Death Road." And I have to say, the artwork is always great on his albums. I do love that. Um, cannot complain with that. We get the book, band pictures, lyrics, and all sorts of stuff. Um, this was his last studio album up to this point before because the box set came out in 2018. I think he's only had one more studio album that came out, which was 2022, called "Over the Horizon Radar." I do not have that one. So this was the last one that we have from Jorn in the box set. So 9 studio albums and then 3 bonus tracks or material following that. And so we'll get to the bonus material. First up is the bonus songs. So these are all tracks that are bonus tracks on all the albums, different versions. "Out to Every Nation," there's a different version on there for that. An extended version of "Burn Your Flame." "Starfire" is on here. Extended symphonic version of "I Came to Rock." Just a whole bunch. There's 16 tracks on here. Just I really enjoy this stuff. I love when we get bonus tracks and stuff, and that way they're all on one little disc, and we can listen to them all together at one time. And then here is the bonus disc. So that's the first one. The next bonus disc are live songs. Uh, it takes the best of his two live albums that he had during this period, Live in America and Live in Black. So he takes both of those, and they probably just put the best songs that are on here. There are 13 tracks. There's a great White Snake melody on here at the very end, which is incredible. That was from Live in America. And like I said, he sounds like Coverdale. So man, when he covers Whitesnake, it is a banger. So this one's definitely worth getting just for the Whitesnake melody. But it does. The nice thing about it is it says which songs came from which album. So like the first seven songs came from Live in Black, and the remaining six tracks came from Live in America. So still, it'd be nice to have both live albums in the set instead of just like a compilation, because then I wouldn't have to go buy the others. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm not going to complain. The last one is a collection of covers, and it's is called Covers, or The Covers CD number 12. Jorn's done a lot of covers over the career. He's actually got a couple studio albums that are covers. And this one it takes some of the best from those covers albums. And one of my all-time favorite covers that he does is Kiss's song Naked City that Gene Simmons sings. Jorn does it, and man, does he freaking kill that song. I mean, he's great. We've got Live to Win from Paul Stanley on here. Frida's I Know There's Something Going On. There's Deep Purple covers of Burn and Stormbringer. Fool for Your Loving from Whitesnake. Don't Stop Believing, Cold Sweat, Perfect Strangers, Running Up That Hill, Kate Bush, and this was done before Stranger Things, so he thought it was cool before Stranger Things did. Just some really great bonus tracks on here. Again, this was another one that's kind of cool to have, even though it would have been nice to have the full covers albums that he's done. So I won't complain, not at all. I mean, why would I? Why would I? Just some great, great stuff in here. And that's all 12 of the albums. We kind of flew through them. Sorry about that. It is a lot of music to get through. I mean, that's a stack of CDs right there. Like I said, early years, really love the early years. It would have been cool to have Starfire, maybe the live albums in full. But I'll take what they gave us because for $60, that's a lot of music for $60. Now, of course, I think it goes for around 100 or so if you can find one. If not, maybe more than that. I'm not real sure. I haven't really looked in a long time to see. But I do, after going through this and looking through it, I was like, I do want to get through his music and stuff. I have a couple other CDs of his. I have The Battle with Russell Allen. I think I have a Master Plan, but I don't have all the Master Plan albums with him or all the Battle CDs with Russell Allen. I really want to get those. And he has stuff before his solo with bands like Ark and Millennium that I would one day like to check out and dive into to see more about where he came from before his solo stuff. But yes, Jorn Land, if you don't know him, worth checking out. Just stream it at very least. Start with World Changer. I like World Changer, Out to Every Nation, The Duke, and The Lonely Are the Brave. Start with those. See what you think, and if you like those, you'll like the other stuff as well. I don't dislike those other albums I talked about. They didn't hit me as strongly as those first one. But entry point is also important. Where you start generally is where you tend to like the most. So that's it for this one. This is Jorn, 50 Years on Earth, anniversary box set, 12 CDs from Frontier Records. Awesome box set. If you can find it, grab it. So click like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. We'll get back to you as soon as we can, and we'll see you next week on The Collection.